South Africa is once again asking, can we still trust President Cyril Ramaphosa? The man who promised a new dawn is now surrounded by new darkness, a 2 billion tender scandal at Tembisa Hospital, a businessman named Morgan Maumela, and shocking questions about honesty, integrity, and leadership. Did the president lie about knowing the alleged tender kingpin? And if he did, is this just another chapter in South Africa's long story of state corruption? Stay tuned. We unpack the facts, the cover-ups, and the big question, should Ramaphosa step down? The Tembisa Hospital looting. The Special Investigating Unit uncovered over 2 billion looted from Tembisa Hospital through irregular tenders. One name dominates the report, Hangwani Morgan Maumela, whose companies allegedly scored hundreds of millions of rand through fraudulent purchase orders. The SIU says Maumela's network worked with corrupt hospital officials to push through inflated invoices and ghost suppliers. Whistleblower Babita Deokaran had flagged these suspicious payments before her tragic assassination. Now investigators are tracing every cent, and the country is asking who protected this syndicate. Ramaphosa's connection. 1. Morgan Maumela isn't just another businessman. He's reportedly related to President Ramaphosa through marriage, a distant nephew. When the story first broke, Ramaphosa flat out denied knowing Maumela. But months later, he admitted he had bumped into him by coincidence in Sandton, a story many South Africans found unbelievable. Then came a video showing the president outside Maumela's mansion in the same area. Critics said, that's no coincidence, that's familiarity. The presidency insists Ramaphosa has no financial ties to Maumela, calling him a non-immediate relative. But the question remains, why deny knowing him at all if there was nothing to hide? Conflicting narratives and credibility. This isn't just about who he knows, it's about credibility. When a president's story changes, trust collapses. Ramaphosa's image has always been about honesty and reform, cleaning up the mess left by the Zuma era. But each new inconsistency chips away at that moral high ground. The SIU continues to probe the Tembisa contracts, and so far there's no public evidence directly linking Ramaphosa to the looting. Yet public anger grows because South Africans have seen this movie before.
You keep saying my nephew. I don't even know this gentleman. And so let's not even get there. I don't know him.
Yes, this matter has occupied the headlines for quite a number of days now. My spokesperson, Mr. Vincent Magwenya, addressed the media yesterday in response to what they say was a video and a photograph. And he focused on that, and he explained what is my relationship or at all with this person. Now, 47 years ago, I got married to his father's sister, his aunt. We divorced 43 years ago. And when I said to Honorable Steenhuisen in 2022, when he asked whether I knew him, I said I did not know him because I had never encountered him, I had never seen him, and that was gospel true. Now, later in 2023, as I was walking in the street in my neighborhood, I walked past a house, as Mr. Magwenya said. I'm now promoting him to a minister. As Mr. Magwenya said yesterday, I was walking in a street where I usually walk, and even this morning, coming here, my convoy drives past that house. There are 2 entrances to where I live, or 3, and it is the thoroughfare, the way where we drive and where I also walk. So in 2023, I was walking, as Mr. Magwenya said, with one of my colleagues who was my then advisor, who's now a deputy minister, taking a walk in the morning. And I often say, when people say, we want to meet you, Mr. President, I said, no, come at 6 o'clock. Come and walk with me. And then you will have me for an hour and a half as we do our 10-kilometer walk or so. So I was walking with Mr. Sevilla. And as we were walking past a house which I saw in construction for quite a while, and I kept asking, whose house is this? It is a massive house. And I wanted to know whose house it is, and I never got the information. So walking there, a car comes past, and I always mispronounce this person's name, Thibaut Touch or something like that. He gets out of the car with another gentleman. He wants to talk to me, to photograph, and all that. So we stop. And now we are against the wall of this massive house. And that's where the photograph happens and the video. So then the allegation is the person who was in the photograph is Maumela. It was not Maumela. It was Mr. Thibaut Touch and Mr. Jones from the United States, I later learned. So there was this brouhaha that, yes, I visit his home on a regular basis and so forth. I can say I walk past that house when I go on my walks. Now, in 2024, so it should be known, because Mr. Magwenya only focused on this photograph. In 2024, I am walking on that same street, and a person comes out of this house and he greets me. And as I often meet people, I ask them, who are you? He says, I am Hangwani Maumela. And that's how he introduces himself to me. And I say, so you are the Maumela who is putting my name into disrepute. And he smiles away. And now I've encountered this person, and I walk away, and I walk to my home. And then in 2024, on the 26th of December, I am walking with my daughter, who loves walking too, on the same street. And there this young man comes out and he says, hello, Ramaphosa. My mother is here. Can you say hello to her? And I say, who is she? He says, it's Mboneni Maumela. Now, when I was at school in Papuri High School with my then wife, Hope Mudau, her brother was also there. And later I got to know that this Mboneni and this, my wife's brother, my former wife's brother, they hooked up. And as they hooked up, they had a child. And this is now Hangwani Maumela, whom I did not know. But I know his mother because we were at school together. So he says, my mother is here. Can you say hello to her? And she is coming out of the yard towards the main gate. And as she's wearing a gown, a morning gown. And I immediately say, I can't allow her to come into the street with a morning gown. And I go towards the gate and I greet her. And I say, how are you? How have you been? That's the sum total of it all. And I walk away. Now, when I walk around, I'm often greeted by people.
The pattern, past controversies, Phala Phala y Farmgate. In 2020, thieves stole large sums of foreign currency hidden in furniture at Ramaphosa's Phala Phala farm. The money, in US dollars, was never fully explained. He was accused of covering up the theft and failing to report it properly. Prosecutors declined to charge him, but the scandal dented his reputation for transparency. COVID-19 procurement scandals. During the pandemic, billions were spent on PPE and relief packages. The Auditor General found massive irregularities, inflated pricing, ghost suppliers, and political kickbacks. Although no link was proven to the president, critics argue corruption flourished under his watch, undermining his promise of a clean government. Tender networks and political elites. From Vusimuzi Katmatlala's SAPS tenders to Maumela's health contracts, a pattern emerges: networks of politically connected business people winning suspicious state deals. Ramaphosa often claims ignorance, but can a leader truly claim innocence when the system beneath him continues to rot? The big question, is Ramaphosa involved? So far, no legal finding shows Ramaphosa personally benefited from the Tembisa Hospital tenders, but politics isn't just about guilt, it's about accountability. South Africans are tired of no proof yet while billions vanish. The president's job isn't only to stay clean, it's to keep the system clean. And if he can't, many argue he's part of the problem. Should he resign? He misled the public by denying his relationship with Maumela. Under his leadership, corruption persists, from Phala Phala to Tembisa. His credibility as the face of renewal is collapsing. Arguments against resignation? There's no direct evidence he stole or benefited. Investigations are still ongoing. Forcing him out without proof could set a dangerous precedent in a fragile democracy. But in the court of public opinion, the verdict may already be in. If the people no longer trust you, can you still lead them? Whether or not he resigns, one truth is undeniable. South Africans are running out of patience. The dream of a clean, ethical government can't survive another scandal. The Maumela saga might just be the test that decides whether Ramaphosa's legacy is renewal or regret. What do you think? Should President Ramaphosa step down? Or do you believe he deserves time for the investigations to conclude? Thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because South Africa's fight against corruption is far from over, and you deserve the truth.